License Subcommittee meeting. My name is Councillor Mercy Ume, and I will be chairing tonight's meeting. If I lose connection and cannot reconnect, Councillor Patrick Wells will take over for me. I would like to remind— My name is Councillor Mercy Ume, and I will be— Sorry. I would like to remind all participants of a few housekeeping points. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are speaking. Please keep your camera turned on when speaking at the hearing. Please note that the chat function has been disabled. If parties wish to add any additional information other than their allocated time to speak, they must use raise hand function so that they are not missed. I also ask that members do keep their questions and comments brief to the point. I now move to item 1 on our agenda. Apologies, item 1, apologies for absence. None. Item 2, declaration of interest. Do members have any declaration of interest?
No, Chair.
No, Chair.
Thank you. Item 3, alcohol virgin located at unit 3054, 29 Seagrave Road, London, SW6 1RP. I would like to ask everyone participating to introduce yourself as I call on you. We should have with us Mr. Patel, the applicant.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Patel, please, can we see your face? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can we have Lorna McCann, the licensing officer?
Present, Chair.
Thank you. Can we have Adrian Overtime, licensing?
Present, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Gerta, the council legal officer.
Present, Chair.
Thank you. Objectors. Now we have Sean Lyon, resident. Sean? Charles, is Sean in? No?
Sean Lyons has given his 5 minutes to Charlotte Murray.
Okay. We have Elian Lewis, resident. We have Paloma Val Martin. We have Charlotte.
Hasn't joined, Chair.
Is she here?
Paloma has given me her 5 minutes to Ellen Lewis, so I have 10 minutes in total, as does Charlotte Murray.
Okay. We have that's Miss Dexter speaking. We have Simon Jones here. Simon?
He hasn't joined, Chair.
Okay. We have Maria Vel. So Maria, Charlotte, you are speaking on behalf of Maria.
I am Ellen Lewis. So I believe I've got 15 minutes in total, sorry.
That's correct. Well, I will let you know when that time comes. Okay,
Thank you.
before procedure, before we consider the application today, I can confirm that in addition to the main agenda, a supplementary agenda was published on the 18th of April, 2023. May I quickly explain the procedure the committee will follow? We will hear from the following. The licensing officer will introduce the application, the objectors who have registered to speak. Finally, the applicant. Usually, each party will address the committee once for a maximum of 5 minutes. Following the presentation by all parties, the committee may ask questions of any party or other person present at the hearing. No party has the right to ask questions to any other party at any time during the hearing. Following the presentation and questions, each party will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to sum up their cases or representation. The committee will then retire for deliberation. Upon its return, I will announce the committee's decision. Licensing officer, can I ask the licensing officer, Lorna, to introduce the application?
Yes, Chair.
Thank
On the
you.
23rd of February 2023, Parth Patel, the applicant, submitted an application for a new premises licence to be granted in respect of the premises known as Alcohol Virgin, located at Unit 3054, 29 Seagrave Road, London, SW6 1RP. The application as applied was for a new premises licence for the sale of alcohol off the premises via an online store and was originally applied for as outlined as the sale of alcohol off the premises only, Monday to Sundays, 7 p.m. in the evening till 6 a.m. The opening hours of the premises were not open to the public, and a copy of the original application form can be seen on pages 12 to 30 of the report. On the 7th of March 2023, the applicant emailed the licensing authority and amended their application and amended the licensable activities, which have licensable activity hours for the sales of alcohol, which now the application being considered today is for the sale of alcohol off the premises only, Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. The opening hours of the premises is not open to the public. A copy of this amendment can be seen on pages 31 of this report. On the 9th of March 2023, following correspondence received from the police, the applicant agreed to add a further 6 conditions to the licence if granted. A copy of this is also within the report. During the consultation period, the licensing authority received 15 representations in objection to the application. 13 representations were received from residents, 1 representation from a residents group, and 1 from the Lily Square residential development, which is not a resident group, however, is a large business development within the area of the premises. There were no representations received during this period from any responsible authority, and the application was advertised in alignment with the regulations of the Licensing Act 2003. There have been further supplementary agenda which was circulated on the 18th of April 2023, which included further evidence from objectors in support of their objections raised. All documents have been circulated to all parties. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Lana. Now we can go, we can hear from the objectors. We start with Mr. Sean. And if Mr. Sean is not in, maybe we have Charlotte, who is going to be speaking for 15 minutes. Charlotte, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call your attention to agenda item number 5, which is the supplemental from page 5, where I've outlined, as I do, my various points. So I'll just go over them quickly. First of all, I went down there the other day to meet with Safe Store, to meet with the ambulance people, to meet with Capco, to meet with the residents, to meet with Premier Inn. And I have to say, as a resident, I think this is a non-starter because you cannot run a business out of Safe Store. It's not allowed in their terms and conditions. They don't have heating. They don't have health and safety wise. You can't have people sitting there for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours waiting for calls to organize ways for the goods to be brought down to the reception area, where the guy at the reception told me, we wouldn't handle alcohol because we're not licensed as receptions to handle alcohol. So I'm very confused why this license is even being applied for, but I think tonight we'll figure that out, and it will be quite useful for future applications where we can maybe, deal with that to begin with. So I think that the big concern for residents is that, and maybe for the committee as well, is how can somebody apply for a license for what I would call nighttime and late nighttime economy delivery, and then find out that the hours are different in this place, and say, oh, well, I'll do it from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I mean, that's a very different business model. I asked the licensing authority to have the applicant contact me. I asked them a few times, and I was actually asked to not ask any more because it was, taking up the licensing authority's time reading my emails. So I didn't hear from him. And as you know, I can't contact the person. I don't have the details. I'm happy for them to have my details. But the only way to do this is because of data and so on, is through the licensing authority. So I apologize that I kept asking. But anyway, I never heard from the applicant. So I don't have a lot of answers. But tonight is when we can get those answers. Now, the London ambulance, we're very lucky in this area of Fulham and of London to have a London ambulance service in our midst, but they need very clear passage all the time, 24 hours a day, to work out of Seagrave Road. And those of you who have looked at a map or maybe have gone down there yourself or walked there know that they need to be able to see, they need to be able to not be interfered with, and so on. So they've explained to the Residents Association, and they explained that this is a real problem if you start having a lot of deliveries and bikes in this road. So I won't go into more detail. I've written that down, but you can appreciate what I'm talking about. And the licensing policy itself mentions hospitals and so on. And I'm assuming, and maybe even next time it can be added, because we have ambulance stations in the borough, that ambulance stations would be added specifically, because certainly when you mention A&E, I mean, you don't get to A&E without an ambulance, or if you walk there. Now, the other problem that we have on Seagrave Road, and I've actually given you some police reports about that especially on match days and match evenings. But so we're talking about days because the applicant has applied for daytime. So let's just talk about daytime. So I gave you an example of what happened during the daytime when Dortmund played Chelsea several weeks ago now. So I've given you all that information, and the point is that at that point, and the other residents have talked to London Ambulance in the meantime about it, it was very difficult. I mean, it was almost impossible for the ambulance to get out a few times. They become their own cops. They have to get out. They have to, try to deal with all these people, pedestrians, just plowing through Seagrave Road, which is understandable. We support, it's part of our culture. We support football. It's all part of what happens here. But they get into really crux kind of situations. And then a lot of these guys start jumping on the ambulances and all of those things. So I'm just mentioning this because it's nothing that you'd ever read in any other report. You wouldn't know about it. It wouldn't be told to you. We just know about it because we're residents, we see it, we talk to these people, we know what's going on. And so we want to give you this information that is very local and very critical to our whole healthcare system, actually. So we're very concerned about that. And the addition of motorbikes and so on during the day, apparently, maybe later at night, who knows, are not helpful to the ambulance service. I've also mentioned the children who, at the end of the road, as you know, the oratory school is there. So all of these things, I haven't seen in the application any kind of comments about any of these things. So when the applicant moved from, nighttime to 6 a.m. to a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. concept, he didn't take time to then revise his application and say, oh, well, now I understand, I'm going to do a daytime concept. So I want you to understand how I'm going to reach the objectives of the licensing act during the daytime. I mean, he didn't do that. So that concerns me. I mean, this is somebody who wants to run a business, which, by the way, will be pointed out. I mean, he won't be paying any council or business rates or anything because he's not registered. He's registered to store things. And so he doesn't have to pay any rates. So we're supporting someone that doesn't pay rates, which maybe is way beyond the act. But I think we have to take it into consideration because, you know, Stephen Cowan wants businesses that are adding to our borough's economy. That's what he's pushing every week. And I understand that. I totally support that. So I don't understand how this fits in when somebody uses storage as a business, which they're not supposed to use as a business, and we're supporting them. And, you know, it's a lot of it's just not making a lot of sense to me. So I took some pictures, as you see on pages 9 and 10, and I gave you the supplemental information from the police on what happened there with the 10 people and the 2 guys that were stabbed and the hospital incident and all of that. And, you know, we don't see all those kind of, one thing that we residents are trying to do, and it's very difficult, is get more crime information for you at the subcommittee. Because I've looked at different places around the country, and some of these hearings, these licensing hearings, the first thing they do is talk about crime, disorder, statistics, what's going on, how things have changed in the last month, in the last quarter. And that doesn't seem to happen here. So, you know, I'm determined to figure out how we're going to get you that information. The police won't give it to us. We've already asked them. We've asked them at ward panels. We've asked individual police. We've asked the licensing police. They're not interested in helping us with that. So there must be other ways to do that. And we want to start finding a way to give you consistent, useful information that you can compare every time we're involved in a hearing. We're not involved in all hearings, obviously, but when we are, I think we need some of that information. So that's all I really want to say right now. And I would yield any of my extra time, may I ask what my time is, to Ellen. She has a lot of things to explain to you. Thank you.
Okay, maybe your time is 2 minutes. So because okay, Charlotte, thank you very much. So you have 2 minutes left. Okay. Now, can I have Ellen to speak?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So you are speaking on behalf of who and who? Could you tell me?
Yeah, my name is Ellen Lewis. I am a resident on Seagrave Road for the last 13 years, and I've recently created the Seagrave Road Resident Association. I'm also a customer of Safe Store storage facility, so I'm very familiar with the actual facility itself and the terms and conditions of use. Okay,
but we cannot see you. Are you?
No, my camera seems to be blurred. Sorry.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Sorry. So you're going to be speaking for somebody else, for other people, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. So it's 2 other residents, so I should have 15 minutes.
15 minutes for you. Okay, that's correct. Okay, you get on now. Thank you. Yeah.
So if the committee could refer to page 41 in the public pack agenda doc for reference to help. I mean, first and foremost, I'm pretty gobsmacked that this application is even being considered. The applicant is based in Hounslow. They do not have any community ties or responsibilities as a business owner would. They're simply just renting a storage unit from Safe Store storage facility. And therefore, they do not even contribute to council business rates. And that is a very poignant element here. In terms of the actual safe storage, I actually went and met with the manager, YL, and he was completely unaware of the application. And to the point that he even referred me to the terms and conditions of the website, because originally, obviously, the applicant wanted to run this operation of selling alcohol until 6 a.m. in the morning. And basically, it's very clear that no one can run a business or have a business address from safe storage unit. It's on their terms and conditions at point 9.2. And I've got a link there in the page 41, which I've just referred you to. And also he told me that the applicant had only recently rented the storage from the 17th of January. And they asked for a site plan, and that was refused on email. I'd also like to point out in their terms and conditions that point 9.10 basically specifically suggests that people that rent from them can't do anything or use anything that may invalidate and increase their policies, their insurance policies, i.e. fire risks. So having storage of alcohol and large quantities of alcohol will affect their fire regulations. So I can only, from going from my conversations with the manager, that the applicant hasn't had consent here. And going through the application on the pack provided, it's littered with inconsistencies. If I refer to page 21, it says that safe store is open 24 hours in point A, and that's incorrect. It's only open during the hours on the website, which predominantly are sort of 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Thursdays on up till 8 p.m. at night, and Sundays from 10 till 4. Even with the new hours, the applicant has got the time of Sunday wrong, that they're saying that they can open till 9 till 6, which again is incorrect. In terms of, it looks like it's, no responsibility is being taken, save for public safety. Again, it's just said that safe storage is responsible for fire safety and security of premises. In terms of the area, it says also on point C on page 22 of this application, it says that the facility has 24-hour security guards. And again, this is not correct. It's not true. They don't have 24-hour security guards. They have CCTV that runs 24 hours, but they only have a couple of people literally in the reception area. Within this whole application, there is no clear information in terms of where the pickup point would be. It says on one section that in the crime prevention area, public cannot allow beyond the lobby. Well, there is no lobby. There is a reception, but the reception is literally 3 meters by 2 meters. It's tiny. You can't swing a cat in there. Public, if delivery drivers are not able to go in there, pick up stuff, it's just not, it will not be used. So my question here is, where is the pickup area? It's not even indicated on a site plan. And the only area that I can see could possibly be a pickup area would be directly outside the reception on the pavement. Again, public pavement. And there's only 2 meters of road, which isn't a double yellow line, which would mean that we would have cars, bikes, motorbikes, blocking up the area. They cannot park in front of the gate. And on the opposite side, it's double yellowed. Now, if anyone went onto Street View on 29 Seagrave Road, they will see what happens is where the ambulance are coming up, the road goes really narrow, and that's just exactly where safe storage is. And we have problems, being a resident and knowing this, with ambulance coming in and out because we haven't got the infrastructure of that road. It's very narrow from 29 up to 1 Seagrave up to the end of Lily Road, basically. So there is a major cause concern in terms of, where are these delivery drivers going to park? Where are they going to hang around to pick up? Is it going to be on the pavement? You've got school children that are coming in and out of the school, going past Seagrave Road, safe storage facility, which, your parents don't want. people hanging around where their children are coming in and out of schools. And as I said, you've got NHS ambulances trying to go in and out, and there's a pinch point right exactly where safe storage is. So it is going to cause problems with traffic. In terms of the application, it has no information in terms of how they would manage these operations, how they would manage traffic, what type of vehicles would be used. I mean, are they going to be electric? How is this in line with the ULEZ, and our green initiatives specifically? I mean, we've got the BBC Earth exhibition that literally has just opened up at the top of Seagrave Road and Lily Road. And I quote, from Councillor Sharon Holder, "We're committed to protecting and looking after our environment. That's why we declared a climate emergency in 2019 and why we're introducing clean air neighbourhoods." What part of this application, well, the person that's not even contributing to cancel business rates, how is that in line with the overall bigger picture? I mean, you've got Capco that's opened up beautiful Lily Road, Lily Square development. They've worked in conjunction with the council to create quieter neighbourhoods, and this is all over the press, everywhere. And yet we're suggesting putting noisy mopeds, delivery things, right smack out bang their entrance. And they've got another 400 residential homes to be built as well. So, we're going to have more contractors coming in and out. This is going to be problematic. And lastly, I just really want to highlight in terms of, our commitment here in terms of, online alcohol consumption and where does the council really stand on this? Because there was a recent research done by alcoholchange.org, which is the UK's leading charity body that was commissioned to look at how online delivery alcohol and how that's actually affecting, the alcoholism, should we say, but more so about sort of how it's protects, what systems are in place to protect children and vulnerable adults from alcohol. I'm happy to send a link over because I think it's very paramount that the licensing team look at this and also councillors going forward, because there was a huge problem with when they did the tests, and they did everything from in terms of collecting, being purchasers, should I say. But basically, the consistencies came up that there was a real problem with failure of alcohol being delivered to minors and IDs not being checked, and intoxicated adults. And what they have suggested in this report was basically that a robust training and support systems need to be set up. And again, the applicant has specified that these training, in terms of ID checking and systems, is not down to their company, it's down to the delivery companies. So again, shirking responsibility. In terms of other things they've suggested is that police and trading standard teams across the UK do need to routinely check and under test purchase operations. And also it has said that the licensing legislation needs to be revisited in England and Wales, and the associated guidance to ensure that it provides necessary clarity for all concerned about their roles and responsibilities when selling alcohol online and delivering to the people's homes. I'm in touch very much with Adrian, and I will send that information on to him because I think it's very prevalent nowadays with alcohol. And as I said, we've got My Shop, which is a local business, which is on Seagrave Road. They work very well with the residents, and they also use delivery services to sell alcohol. However, they are paying council business rates. And I just, as I said, I'm pretty gobsmacked that we're here and, with an applicant that has got no ties to the communities and effectively will have no responsibilities because they are not physically paying any money towards council. And anything goes wrong, which it normally does when you're selling alcohol, whether it's noise and nuisance, antisocial behaviour, problems with traffic management, they are not putting any responsibility. They've put it down to Safe Storage, and Safe Storage have told me that they're not even aware of this application. That's for me. Thank you for your time listening.
Thank you very much, Helen. Thank you very much. And I think we have Simon Jones. Is Simon around?
No, he's not.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, sorry.
Is there?
Yeah. Sorry, I think Simon is going to speak for himself, isn't it? Yes. Simon, you have 5 minutes, huh?
Yes. Hi. Yeah, I can speak for myself. My curiosity on the application is essentially why the horror story is this all-night delivery mechanism that they originally applied for, and that raises massive alarm bells. Well, I used to live next to, or we live here in Effie Place, and we live next to 5 guys who were partying, almost using the house as a nightclub, and they would have been the classic sort of customers for this type of business. So when the off licenses and the pubs and the clubs are closed, or they don't want to pay club prices, they would order online and get such a business to deliver to them, almost 24/7. And these tenants ended up getting evicted, but by the landlord and the managing agent. Now, I interestingly see that they then changed a nighttime business to a daytime business. So why was that? What's going on here? Can you please explain it fully? Is it just a smokescreen that they get the license for the daytime and then extend it, while we're all not looking, into a nighttime stuff? So lots of questions about that. And principally, I think this sort of business, most businesses exist to solve a problem. I can't see what problem this is solving, because we can all get alcohol in Waitrose, Tesco, Sainsbury's, etc. So the major supermarkets and of course, local stores. So storing it in a storage depot, as my other resident friends have highlighted, it doesn't, that sort of going around the system, it seems like, under the radar. And one of the things we have in place when people get alcohol in pubs is that you can do a visual check there. So whoever is consuming that alcohol in a pub or nightclub can be seen and verified and ID checked. Same thing, what happens when you go into a physical store. I guess, it's a little bit more tricky when Tesco and Waitrose and people like that start delivering online, the know your customer type thing. But a pure online business, it's really, really, I would say virtually impossible to police that, because, there could be multiple people in a household and it's ordered by one person, consumed by another. And it's this whole sort of giving to minors in the middle of the day. So that encourages, potential school, kids that are, playing truant from school, etc. But all sorts of shenanigans of midday drinking. So I think I'm just not in favor of this whatsoever. And it just seems to skirt a lot of the, again, it has to be in total synchronization with this storage facility, in this case, Safe Store. And a previous application was turned down with Access Storage right around the corner from us, for very similar reasons. It would create a lot of noise, nuisance, disturbance. It's not for the public good, the minor consumption, etc. So way too many concerns. I hope the applicant is online tonight to fully explain what the heck they're trying to do here, and how they want to add to the community, not detract from it, and how, what are they really trying to solve? What is their business trying to solve? Is it just to make money, or what is it, what is it to do? So those are my comments, and I'll leave it there for now, and look forward to the discussion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Now we have, finally, we are going to have Mr. Patel to respond, to speak. Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 30 minutes, to present your case or present your presentation. So is that okay?
Yeah, all right. Hello.
Hello, but we cannot see
Yeah.
you.
Maybe my camera is blurred. One sec. Can you see me now?
No, can anybody see him? Charles?
No.
Okay.
Well, we can hear him, Chair, so he can.
Okay, we can hear you. So you go along.
Yeah, so basically when I start the business, so I'm thinking to selling alcohol in night time, right? So then I asked the safe store unit. So they said we are not opening as a 24-hour. Then I will change my timing, right? Then I will change my timing in the daytime. When I realized they are not opening at the 24-hour, they are not opening at the night time. They close at 6 o'clock every day. They are closed Thursday at 8 o'clock, yeah? And the second thing, we are doing delivery with the electric vehicle, right? So when my rider is coming, they are waiting in a parking slot, and maybe they are on a bicycle, or maybe they are on a scooter. Or we hire the bike rider or the bicycle rider only, and they are delivering with the electric vehicle only. And I'm asking the floor plan to the safe store because when I'm applying to the premises license, the council need the premises license because they are looking where the store is allocated in the premises. That's why I'm asking for the floor plan to the safe store.
Mr. Patel, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you finished or you continued?
Now I'm continue.
Okay.
And when I book the safe store, I contract for the 1 year. Yeah. Then I'm asking the reception guy for this business. So they are saying me, yeah, you totally fine with this business because we got the similar business like you. We got the Amazon seller like you. So I store the alcohol in a safe store, and I'm doing a online delivery in the daytime. And I can see there is a off-license store in front of the safe store facility, and there is a pub as well. And one more thing, I will pay the council tax bills and the taxes to government as well. From the who I'm selling, from there I pay the 13% tax to the government, and I will pay to the council as well for the yearly. So my concern is there is a off-license store as well. They got the delivery as well. There is a pub as well. They got the delivery as well. So the people are coming in the pub. People are coming in the off-license store as well. And I'm doing my delivery with the bikes. So there will be no noise more than pub and off-license store, because people are coming in a group in a pub, people are coming in a group in off-license, they are shopping and like that. In my case, when I got the delivery, my rider came to the safe store and they take the stuff and they go to the customer house and they deliver the stuff. That's it. There will be no noise.
Okay. So have you finished, or you still
Yeah.
have? Yeah, you have.
No, I'm finished.
Okay.
Is there any question?
You have
Yeah.
finished. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Patel. That's very nice. Now I have to go to committee, and I'll ask the committee to ask questions to any party about the application or issue that they have raised or had. Okay, well, I have Councillor Welsh here. Councillor Patrick Welsh, please.
Thank you, Chair. My question is to Mr. Patel. Firstly, Mr. Patel, could you please outline for me how your business operates, the full cycle? So is it that a customer is going to go onto, is it your website or is it a third-party platform to make this order, or how does that work?
Basically, my platform is in a Uber or a Deliveroo. So I'm selling the alcohol with from the Uber and Deliveroo.
Right. So a customer then places an order, let's say on Uber. Uber then dispatches a delivery driver to your location. They pick it up from this location and then deliver to the customer's house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
There is two options. Sorry to disturb you. There is two options. I own my own driver and I can use the Uber driver as well. So it's up to me.
How many drivers would you be anticipating to have of your own outside of third-party platforms?
2 drivers. It depends on the business.
2 drivers.
Yes.
And both your own drivers as well as these third-party drivers, between them arriving at the at Safe Store and receiving your order or receiving the goods from you, where would they be waiting? Where would the kind of holding area be for those people?
So basically they are on a bicycle, right? So when the order came, they came in a parking area and they took the stuff, and I will give the stuff and they delivered to the customer.
Yes, but for any delivery, between the driver arriving and the goods being handed over to that driver, there is generally speaking a waiting time. So my question is, where are these people going to be? Are they going to be waiting on the pavement? Is there a designated place on site for them to wait? And as part of that question is, where is the handover itself going to take place? Is it going to be on the street or is it going to be at a location on site?
Nearest the allocate location, means nearby the parking area or nearby the MACD, means there is a waiting area allocate over there.
A waiting location allocated. So have you already agreed an allocated waiting area with Safe Store then?
No, because there is no waiting area in a Safe Store. So there is only parking space, nearly 4 or 5 cars are.
And have you got permission from Safe Store to use that space as a...
From the Safe Store, they said you can use anytime in opening hour.
You can, or third parties doing business with you, are they allowed?
No, I am only allowed.
Only you?
Yeah.
So then that goes back to my first question, is where are these drivers who are there to collect going to be waiting? Because they're not allowed to use your parking space. They have to be somewhere else. So where are they going to be?
Nearest any parking area, not in a safe
Nearest to the
store.
parking area.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Means, you know the thing, the McD area or McD parking space, McDonald parking space, or any parking space.
McDonald's parking? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. Okay. So I'm still sorry. I'm not clear as to where these drivers are going to be waiting, and how the goods are going to be handed over.
Specific parking area, specific parking space.
Yes, but you've said that you have permission as somebody that is a tenant of Safe Store, but not these third-party persons would not have access to it. So I'm unclear as to where they are going to be able to wait.
They deliver the stuff to the customer house, right?
Okay. I'll yield back, Chair, to other members of the committee who may wish to ask questions at this point.
Thank you. Any councillors, committee, do you have any more question to ask? Not you, councillor. Yeah.
Chair, I'm actually going to follow up on what Councillor Walsh has said, only because I happen to know this facility, and so I may be able to ask the same question in a slightly different way, if that would help. Mr. Patel, hello, and thank you for everything you've said so far. Can I just clarify two things? One, did you say, you said that you would be using Uber and Deliveroo. Now I know that Uber certainly, I don't know about Deliveroo, gives you the option to use your own staff. Will you only be using your own staff for delivery with Uber, or will you allow the option for them to provide the driver as well?
No. Basically, I got the option. I can use my own driver, or else I can use the Uber driver.
Right, so you would potentially be using Uber drivers as well as your own drivers?
No, I will use the Uber driver.
You will use the Uber driver, okay.
Yeah.
So I happen to know at this facility that there is parking within the facility. There's only like 1 or 2 spaces, the driveways, you go into the main entrance next to the reception. And that can be used by people for loading and unloading. So there will be from time to time large vehicles potentially as users of the units are loading and unloading. So there's not a guarantee that you could park there. The only other parking that's available around there is public parking that any resident can use. So are you basically suggesting that your drivers or your riders would look for a parking space, and any parking space that was available, whether it be directly outside or 200 yards down the road, that's where they would be parking?
Basically, when we got the order, right, I will explain to you. When I got the order from the Uber, right, so
yes.
Uber rider came to Safe Store, right, took the stuff from me, and they delivered to the customer.
Right, so the Uber driver will come into the facility and come up to your unit?
No, not to unit. I can hand over by the gate.
So you'll come down to the gate and basically on the street pass the alcohol through the driver. Okay, no, that's fine. I understand that now. That's perfect.
Yeah, because nothing the concern with the when the rider finish the delivery, they finish the job.
Yep. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay. No, that's great. And in the case of your own, you said you had your own riders.
No, I can use my own rider.
Yeah.
I can use.
Let's say you're using your own riders, and you said you had 2 delivery riders. I think you said.
Yeah, but I don't have the business right now. No? So when I got the business, I can use my own driver.
Okay, so
right now,
if I can stop you just for 1 second, sorry. So hypothetically, you've started your business, we've given you a license, You've got 2 riders of your own. When those riders are waiting for you to take an order, where would they be waiting?
They are waiting in front of the safe store.
They're waiting outside on the street.
Safe store.
Sorry, they're waiting outside or inside? Sorry, it's a slightly crackly line. So I can't...
Inside there is a parking space over there.
Well, no, I appreciate that, but as I said before, safe store is in use however many hours a day, and one of the things that people tend to do with stores is they bring vans or they bring large vehicles to offload and unload. So there will be times when that wouldn't necessarily be available. Putting that aside, where would physical drivers, not their vehicles, where would they be waiting? Would they be waiting outside? Waiting for you to tell them that there's an order, or would they come in to the unit to collect alcohol?
They are waiting inside the premises.
Okay, and that would be what, in at your storage unit?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's great. Thank you very much. Just following on from that, then, I understand that your intention is to sell and deliver alcohol from the unit. What type of alcohol are you looking to sell? What sort of quantities? I mean, are you selling by the can? Are you selling bottles of wine? Are you selling cases of wine? Cases of beer? Can you explain your target customer?
Means it depends on the order, but basically we are selling the single bottle, not the whole cases. Means 1 wine, 1 whiskey, 1 vodka, like this, 2 vodka.
Okay, well, actually, I'm glad you mentioned spirits. So what would you be stocking? If you could just give me an idea of the range, would you be stocking beer?
Yeah, I'm stocking beers, some of wine, means red wine, white wine, rose wine, vodka and whiskey.
And so the wine, just to give me an example, what's the price point of your average bottle of wine?
Wine, around 12 pound, 13 pound.
Okay, thank you. I think, Chair, that is all the questions I have for now.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. Patel, how many workers do you have? How many people work with you in this year unit?
Sorry?
How many people have you employed in this year unit? How many people work with you?
I'm the only one.
You are the only one. You are the only one handling going to hand out these things and bring them. Isn't it too much for one person to do? Don't you think so? Mr. Patel, what training would you give to what training do you have? Do you have any training? So how would you tell me about yourself?
I can use the Uber riders, so they got trained already. So means we are selling alcohol, so make sure they are not under 25. That when they deliver the order, they must be checked their IDs.
Okay, so you rely on those training. And what of you? Have you got the training yourself?
Yes, I got the personal license for the alcohol selling.
Okay.
So, and first thing, when we got the order from the Uber, the Uber check as well. So the order customer does not under 25. Means they check the ID as well.
Yeah. Mr. Patel, so where else have you run a business before? I know I just want to have a clear understanding where you're coming from. So which other business have you had before?
No, this is my new business.
This is your new business?
I'm doing new business.
Okay. The delivery, one thing that a licensing law says about noise and nuisance in terms of our delivery and in terms of our residents. What will you do if we have a lot of drivers around and disturbing our residents? What will you do in terms of when you think of noise and nuisance that is part of the licensing law. So how will you tell me what you will do?
That's why I'm using rider. So they must be on an electric vehicle. So the electric vehicle will not noisy rather than the normal vehicle. And they are must be on a bicycle or the motorbike.
I see.
If driver in a car, so they will make more noisy. If the rider in a bicycle, so there will be no noise.
Yeah. You know, people will just, so you are saying that you just come to the street and handing over this delivery to people, because people are saying that you don't have any staff, so
Yeah.
the place is cold. So how do you do you have a phone number there that people can call? Do you have a line there, phone number?
So, sorry?
If you're online, so
Yeah.
do people call you online, or do people send email to you? How does this thing work?
Yeah, they call me. You know.
Okay, they call you.
Yeah, and I think we'll not get the more than 7 or 8 order, because one of my friend got the same business in a not in a Fulham,
Yeah.
but in a Chelsea. He got the same business, so he guided me to do like this. So then I can see his business, and I'm applying for this application. So he got nearly 5 or 6 order every day.
That's interesting. Wow.
So there will be no much busy, you know. If six or 7 order, I will manage by myself.
Okay, so the time and your time will be from what time to what time?
Around 10 in the morning to 4 or 5 in the evening.
10 to 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5, depend on how busy. If it's busy, we'll close 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Now, committee members, please, do you have any more questions?
Chair, if I could just follow up on that. Mr. Patel, your application hours vary to what you've just said. You're saying that you'd be operating from 10 to 5?
Yes.
But
no, because before I apply for the night time.
Yes,
but I realized
hours that you're applying for.
the close, yeah. The safe store facility is closed. So then I change it, the timing. I can change around 9 to 5 o'clock.
I think you've 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. is what you're applying for on this occasion. But you've just spoken to my colleague there and said that you'd be operating 10 a.m. to 4 or potentially 5 p.m.
Yes.
Can I just clarify, what hours are you actually looking for?
10 to maximum 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. because the
Monday to Friday or Monday to
Saturday.
Sunday?
Monday
to Saturday. So on Sunday, you would not be operating then?
No. Sunday is a close.
Sorry, Chair.
Sorry. Thank you, Councillor. Mr. Patel, in terms of CCT, do you have any CCT to just in case that you've been attacked, bringing the drink? So what will you do? Do you have any thing in operation that will say, okay, this is what happened? Am I making sense? You know, you haven't got any CCT Zoom something to show that I'm selling this drink. If I'm attacked, that this camera will be caught on this camera so that people know what is happening. So how do you?
There is a CCTV in a safe store facility.
Okay, you're going to use theirs.
Yeah.
and you're going to use Uber because they do the training.
Yes.
Yeah, they do the training in terms of selling to the right not selling to underage.
Yeah, because I use the Uber riders, so they are fully trained.
So, but what do you understand by selling to underage yourself? If we have Uber person that doesn't know I thought you said you have 2 drivers. What of your drivers?
No, I will hire the 2 riders. I will planning to my business, not now, because I'm using the Uber rider right now.
Have you started selling alcohol already in that business where you are now?
Sorry?
Have you started a delivery where you are?
No.
You haven't?
No, but one of my friends is doing, and I told you before, in a Chelsea, so I know how they're running business.
Okay, I have a counselor's hand up. Yeah, okay.
I'm muted. Apologies for that. So a very, very quick question actually for Mr. Patel, which is there any power in the unit?
Sorry?
Is there any electrical outlets in the unit, or is it just supplied bare?
No, there is a light only, not any power unit.
I thought so. There's no power point. So if we were to say a condition about you're having your own CCTV within the unit, you wouldn't be able to power it.
Inside the premises, there is CCTV in each and every corner, but not in my unit or not in any unit.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you very much. No other questions.
I don't have any more questions either. Any more question from committee members?
No further question.
No further question.
Yes, I've got one.
Sorry, Simon, you are not allowed to ask questions to anybody. Only the committee members are allowed to ask questions.
Okay.
I'm going to go to summing up, and I'm going to ask the licensing officer to sum up in 3 minutes.
No further comments, Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much, licensing officer. Can I ask Sean to sum up in 3 minutes? Or is Charlotte going to sum up for him?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay, so
I'd like to sum up by just saying that I'm very concerned that the applicant is not showing himself. How do we know who the applicant is? But that's kind of a larger question. But I think it should be dealt with at some point.
I'm sorry, Mr. Patel, you cannot speak. I'm allowing this lady to speak. When I come to you, you can tell us what you want to say. At the moment, allow Ms. Dexter to speak, please. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, we've concentrated on the basics of the lack of a business plan and the lack of a real understanding of how this operation is going to work. If you're selling 6 deliveries a day or even 10, and you're making a couple pounds on that or even 5 pounds on that, how can you even pay Safe Store for this unit, let alone pay taxes, VAT, and other things? So the whole concept does not make sense to me as a resident. And I don't think that this person at this juncture really can be entrusted with a license from the council, because that's what the subcommittee is doing. It's saying, we believe in you. We believe you will uphold the 4 objectives of the Licensing Act. And the Licensing Act gives the committee, the council, the ability to sell alcohol, and you entrust it to further people down the line. So I personally hope that you won't entrust this to this applicant who we can't see. Thank you.
Okay, Charlotte, you're not going to sum up for yourself, so you summed up for
Yes, no, that's the summary. Residents are very concerned.
Okay.
We've brought a multitude of issues to your attention that have to do with the road, the ambulances, the match days, all sorts of things for you to consider in the context of an addition of alcohol being sold from a storage unit that, from a health and safety standpoint, cannot be used as such. It's a storage unit. It's not there for anything else. And we haven't even gotten to the bits that we're most concerned about. And I'm determined the next time something like this comes up, if I have to go to the town hall myself to meet Anna Carpenter in person and get her to write something about safeguarding, this type of business is about people who need drink. That's it. Behind closed doors, or kids who want drink. That's really what it's about. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I believe that very strongly. And I do not believe that this council really wants to be supporting this kind of business in this borough. And I want to believe that we're going to find a way to make sure that we are not supporting alcohol problems, et cetera, et cetera. And this is one piece of it, unfortunately. And listen, I drink my wine, et cetera. I'm not a teetotaler, but this really, really concerns me, and it concerns a lot of other residents, because it's a growing problem that alcohol campaigns and all sorts are dealing with. They're doing test purchases. 80% of test purchases are not completed the way that you think they are, and the way that the Licensing Act calls for. Well, not the Licensing Act, because Licensing Act, of course, was way long before delivery purchases. So it's just a huge thing. And what I really wish is that this licensing committee would talk with Cowan and say, we are going to create a first in this borough. We're going to get this under control with these delivery services. We're going to make a mark in the country, and we're going to get it right. And we're far, far, far from getting it right. But I'm committed with other residents to work with you on that. So I appreciate everything you're doing, and I hope that we can make some real progress, because this is a disaster that's happening now, and it's getting worse. That's what's happening statistically. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dexter. Can I have Ms. Lewis?
Yes, hi.
Hi, and you're going to be speaking for Maria as well as Ellen.
Yes,
Yes.
It's just
okay.
Just to summarize.
Yes, to summarize. You have 9 minutes because you are speaking for 3 people.
Okay. It won't be 9 minutes, don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
I concur a lot with what Charlotte says. I mean, listening to the applicant, zero experience in this delivery process. And as I said, it's not coming from a business that is paying council rates. The applicant is not from this area, does not have any community ties. And the business model itself is supporting alcohol drinking, day drinking effectively. So it does not do anything to enhance this community whatsoever. And as I said, I'll be sending through the document of the recent study that was that I previously mentioned. And it specifically said after the test purchases were done, it found that 72% of cases where alcohol was ordered for delivery within 2 hours, this was subsequently handed over to 18, 19-year-old test purchasers without seeking proof of age. And it was in direct contravention of retailers. And I think what Charlotte's just said is very interesting and could be something that councillors could actually take this report and actually create something, that's quite unique, and saying, how they could possibly, work with retailers, or at least put something in place from the licensing application to ensure that there is full training. And again, the applicants, as I said, I've spoken to Safe Storage, they denied providing a floor plan. There's still no clear evidence as to where there would be collection point. There is no explanation in terms of training. If he was to get staff on, how they would be trained, how those processes work to ensure that that basically drivers are not handing over to intoxicated customers and or minors. And as I said, 72% of cases already, which are showing from the likes of Uber and deliveries, are failing this. So how any new business that has got zero experience in the market can actually do any better will be an interesting one. We've got to safeguard this community. We've got ambulances that are coming up and down. And as I said, we don't want to encourage daytime drinking. That's actually only going to put more pressure on NHS services. I think hopefully we've put forward, enough evidence here today that there's major concerns. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And please, can I have Mr. Jones to speak, but it has to be 3 minutes to sum up. Thank you.
Yes, hi. In summary, I'm very concerned that this applicant has no experience whatsoever of dealing with alcohol. I've listened to other licensing committee applications, and it's very obvious when somebody is a very experienced operator and they know all the rules and regulations, and they're very conscientious of everything they can and cannot be doing. They have very professional representation of themselves. I think in this case, if you can't even show yourself on camera, maybe there's a camera issue, I have no idea, but I think it's a trust issue. Obviously, if you show your face, we're showing our face, I think you need to show your face to us. A lot of concerns around obviously match day. We just had Real Madrid come in town, Spanish fans, in the Champions League, and obvious questions. For example, do the alcohol deliveries have to be to a physical address, or can they just be to somebody on the street? When you call an Uber, you just pinpoint the location where you're at, and the car comes to you, and that's how that service works. It collects you from anywhere and takes you to anywhere. In this case, can you just summon alcohol on the street? For example, you're at a Chelsea match and you're a fan in the middle of the day. So this sort of application has more questions than answers. And my honestly summation of this applicant, as he was answering the questions, was he was just making things up as he went along. That was very clear when Councillor, I think Stanton was asking him a lot of questions. And it just seemed to be, these answers were just made up on the fly. Just making stuff up about parking, hours, number of days operating, etc. So it wasn't clearly thought through. And I think I think there's a big concern actually from residents to the LBHF licensing team. I think you need to have a very thorough questionnaire put to the applicant before they come on calls like this, because we're asking actually very basic questions. And I think the answers to these very basic questions should already be there in writing for everybody to see, read, digest, so that the number of serious questions when we come to a committee like this are actually very few. We're asking the very, very basic questions here. And again, I don't think they've been thought out through the applicant whatsoever. It's very clear that a mate in Chelsea is obviously making money doing this way. So a guy in Hounslow is thinking, right, I'll set up one in Fulham. Without knowing all the rules, regulations, or really the care of duty to the community. And I think that's what we face here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. 3 minutes is up. Now, can I have Mr. Patel to sum up? Mr. Patel, you have 18 minutes to sum up. Okay.
Okay. So I'm the beginner, yeah. So one of my friends told me like this, he's doing like business like this. So he teach me how to do the business, and I got the personal license. I got personal license for the selling alcohol only. So I've been trained for the selling alcohol. So yeah, I know the rules and regulation for the alcohol selling. And regarding the Uber, so they trained already. So underage, they're not deliver the thing, and they not accept the order. The Uber is not accept the order if the customer is under 25.
Have you finished, or you have finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Patel. And okay, now the committee will now retire to take a decision on a separate room. An adjournment style will be displayed during deliberation. You are welcome to remain in the meeting to hear the committee's decision. However, this might take some time. If you don't want to wait, a summary decision will be published on Council's website tomorrow morning. So can I now ask members to turn off their video, mute their microphone, and join me in the deliberation room? Thank you very much. Okay. Hi, Charles. Is everybody? Hello?
Yes, yes, they are, Chair. If you can turn your camera on, please.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for waiting. The summary of the licensing subcommittee, 19th of April 2023. Alcohol Virgin located at Unit 3054, 29C Grave Road, London, SW6 1RP. The premises. The committee have considered an application for the grant of premises license under the Licensing Act 2003 for the sale of alcohol off premises. In summary, the committee have decided, after taking into account all the individual circumstances of the case and the promotion of the 4 licensing objectives, to reject the application. A copy of the committee's full decision, including its reasons, will be sent to parties forthwith. If any party is unhappy with the decision, they are entitled to appeal to the magistrate court within 21 days from the date of notification of the full decision. The committee, I would like to thank everyone for attending and watching tonight's meeting. In summary, a summary decision will be published on our website tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.